Right, we're live. Good morning, traders and investors. Today, on the Before the Bell edition, we're going to do a little bit of market recap and go over the events that are going to move the market today. Biggest market movers and daily watch list. A couple of trade setups I have for you. And also we're going to go over earnings. Which companies will report earnings today? So let's just get started. Let me check the down here. Can anybody hear me? This is live. Yep, seems to be working. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we had another rotation in the market. Currently, the health sector is just being decimated right now. Also, so Eli Lilly, really quickly about Eli Lilly, because this is having a pullback like no other stock back there. LLY, Eli Lilly, coming back into this beautiful support zone, which is massive. So if you're expecting that Eli Lilly is going to have a bounce here, then you may be right, because in the pre-market, it's kind of trying to trigger here bounce. Let's see how this holds up. Not today, not tomorrow, at the end of the week. So even if you are going to get a bounce, maybe it's not the time to buy right now. Maybe it is. But don't forget that this stock has had such a major run. It's just unbelievable. Just measure this. From October till, so let's see, 18 days, it rose 35%, and this is already a major stock. Just think about that. So if you're going to see a bounce here, wait. I would wait. But here's the setup. If this stock goes over its 21 moving average, retests it, and goes over it once more, then you're good to go. If not, leave this stock alone for now, just like Britney. So let's go over what we have on a beautiful map and what I'm expecting here today. By the way, JP Morgan yesterday has had such a pullback, and JPM, and hit its 100-day moving average. Guess what? Bots on JP Morgan, if you want to get in, I don't think it's too late. I think we're going to see the next leg up higher here in JP Morgan. But somebody really high up in the chain made a comment about the consumer, and especially in the credit sector. That just tanked yesterday, JP Morgan. How much was this pullback? Let me test this one again, because it was up 5.81% on JP Morgan pullback. Oh, I couldn't believe my eyes, so I bought it. And don't follow me on this. As always, this is not financial advice. Don't follow me. You are exposed to the risk to lose all of your money. This is just an educational channel. But the pullback here on JP Morgan and hitting the 100-day moving average, they're just bouncing off of it. So they were going to in the green zone once more. We still could see a little bit of red here on JP Morgan. Don't forget, we're going to come to the major movers of today. We are having an event today, and this could show some sort of resistance in the market, some sort of pullback in the market. This is why I believe we are going to have a pullback. Now, depending on what will happen today, in the early hours, actually in the late hours of the trade, I expect the early hours, great idea, to set up for an IR condor to not move at all. So we're going to open, something's going to happen, then we're going to stabilize until. So let's go now to the main events of today, which is going to be, of course, the Federal Reserve meeting and then the comments. So will they not cut interest rates from 4% to 3.75%? I believe they will, but the comments after that. So not only will they cut the interest rates for, if they are going to cut the interest rates, but what are they going to do in the next year? And that's the interesting part. If they're going to hold interest rate cuts in the foreseeable future, then we're going to have a pretty good pullback in the markets. I would expect, and now let's go back to the indices. I would expect that we are going to have here, let's look at the futures market. Currently, go following along with my channel, you know what this squiggly line means. I believe that we are going to pull back to the 100-day moving average. From there, maybe go a little bit deeper, but I also believe that we are going to break out of this. So we're going to get oversold and then go to the end of the year higher to the Santa Claus rally. So S&P futures are pointing to open 0.01. Okay, they're going to open flat. So currently they're pointing to open flat. I believe they're going to open negative. Nasdaq, same thing, in the red here on the futures market. So it's Nasdaq closed on the positive yesterday. Also, S&P closed slightly on the negative yesterday. The Dow Jones Industrial Index pulling back there. I think this is also going to hit the 100-day moving average. So if you have some cash on the sidelines, if you have some dry powder, then just hold it ready. Because the VIX is currently showing us green, which means I believe we're going to have a little bit of weak spike here. The dollar also is trying to go up there, but it just has too many moving averages above it. But if this manages to have the same spike as it had back here, then we are going to see easily dollar over 100. Moving on to oil, still having its pullback. I'm still in my triangle working beautifully there. Oil is somehow just not going anywhere in this complete downtrend, but trying to go up, coming back down, hitting its head on this 50-day moving average, always coming back down from this 50-day moving average. And I think till something major will not happen in the world, oil will remain in this range. But the lower range, I still believe, is 55. Okay. Now, natural gas, on the other hand, is having a beautiful pullback here. Made some good money on natural gas. Currently, I'm expecting it's going to stagnate here. So this kind of priced on, are we going to have a softer or colder winter? Currently, it seems we're going to have a softer winter, but this could change in a couple of weeks. So be careful there with natural gas. I wouldn't add positions right now. Let's just let natural gas show us what it wants to do. I would expect it to flop around here, not come down completely. Now, moving on from natural gas to gold. Gold is setting up here for a next leg higher. It's not oversold. It's actually overbought currently. 59 on the RSI is trying to move up, but it still has some resistance due to the fact that silver is running like crazy. Now, I already made a little bit of money on silver on its pullback, but I'm suffering right now. I'm going to tell you that. So I need a pullback here in silver, even if all you silver bulls out there believe that silver will go to 70. I do wish that it does. Make all of you happy. But please give me a pullback. Come on. Retest this 21-day moving average at 55. And then it can have its next leg higher. If you have silver and if you want to add to silver, I would just wait. Nothing goes to the moon, exactly as it did here. It came back down, tested 21-day moving average. Then it had its next leg higher. Currently oversold. RSI at 75, I would say, 74.97, 75. Massively overbought. Don't add to silver right now, but let's take a look at copper. I'm waiting for copper to kiss this beautiful 50-day moving average once more. And there I would gladly add back to a copper position. Should you sell some calls against it? Not right now. Let's just wait and see what copper does in the next, after the Fed rate cuts, okay? So we talked about dollar, but now let's move on to Bitcoin. Bitcoin is clearly showing us that it wants to break out. Even if it retests its zone down here, I would say Bitcoin from here will go higher and will end the year in the green zone. Now, will it become an oversold position? I don't think so. But exactly as Ethereum, let's just move to Ethereum right here, which is showing us clearly much higher demand for Ethereum right now. Maybe having to do something with the stable coins. I would bet that it has to do something with stable coins. So keep an eye on Ethereum. Everything test that it's going to have once more with 21-day moving average down here at 3,100-ish. So I believe it's going to go to 3,200. I think that's a buying opportunity. Even if it goes a little bit lower, we have beautiful support for Ethereum down here between 3,000 and 2,400 is a buy zone for me for Ethereum. Okay, so this is it for the moving average. Let's go to a couple of earnings, and let me tell you that we are going to have one of the big movers here, which is Oracle. Now, Oracle is expected to go today in whichever direction it wants. Let's see here, the expected move for Oracle has its earning today after the bell. And the expected move, let's go to the in here, 22 to 25% even after the earnings, so tomorrow, because they have their earnings after the bell. So expect 22 points in either direction. 22 to 25 points, actually. That is a huge move here for Oracle. Currently having a massive volatility, implied volatility of 146. So if you're not already in the trade, just leave it alone. I already told you what I thought that the trade setup would be. Currently, just leave it alone. Let's see what Oracle does. It could go in both directions. So just take it out here. Whoever bet against Oracle back at it in September, where they had the last earning, was massacred. The face was ripped off. Okay, because Oracle jumped from 200, let's see where they're earning, 230 to 347, over 120 points. So it just got the faces ripped off. I wouldn't touch Oracle right now. Now, if it comes down, because it's already having a beautiful correction, I would gladly add some to some dollars to the Oracle position. Okay, also I'm going to report on the earnings after it comes out. I'm going to do a full rundown, but you know me, I'm not just going to take right after the report, and it's going to leave some time for digestion, 1 or 2 days, and then I'm going to do a earnings review on Oracle. Moving on, the next one, which I'm totally bullish on, is Adobe. What, you bullish on Adobe? Why? Well, once again, they do have a beautifully set up SaaS, software as a service. Nobody's quitting their premier workflow just because of the AI angst out there. Adobe, once again, has a good client base, has positive earnings. Each one of their earnings was a plus. They reported green earnings, they reported earnings growth. They are expected to report once again the earnings growth. So I'm bullish on the stock for the long term. I actually expect this to go way up in the 500, 600 range, not tomorrow, but in 2026. I'm bullish on Adobe, waiting for this to work itself out for me. Next up, we also have two more stocks. One of them already reported, so let's talk about Chewy. Already reported, beat on revenue, beat on earnings. In the pre-market, jumped up here from 34 to 37. Had a massively nice run. Going to do on all four of them. So on Oracle, on Chewy, on Adobe, and the last one. So don't touch Chewy right now. It's going to open up massively in the, right at the bell. And the last one will be Synapses. Synapses also will report earnings today. Will they go even further up because they're almost overbought? I think they will. I wouldn't touch the stock right now. Let this work itself out, because the last time they reported they just got massacred. So leave this stock alone. Let it do its thing. Come back to it later on when the water is clear, when you know what is up with the stock. Also currently right in the Ichimoku cloud, so that is bearish for me. Leave the stock alone. We're going to do a stock analysis on it later on. Okay, so trade setups, Not too many for today, actually only one. And that would be silver. But a slight problem here with silver. Let me just show you this just in a couple of seconds. So you could do silver as following. SI/SI, these are the silver futures. Now let's say for the 13-day expiration date, you want to go outside. You need a lot of money for this, okay? So silver, just selling a call spread here, well, not so bad. You would need 384 buying power and would get 145. So this is trying to pull back if you, and this is also one standard deviation. So looking for this somewhere at 18 and 16 delta. If you want to go even further out, this is a very good setup. Risking 684, actually risking 2000, but risking 2000, getting 320. You're putting up 684 in buying power and getting 320. And that is actually, for me, a really good setup for silver. Betting against silver that the price is going to come down. Now, if this is going to go up, so we are expecting this is 67 strike, 67.25, 67.75. So if I would take a look here, 67 would be up here, 67. So if this has another leg higher, it's going to rip your face off in 13 days. But come on, let's be serious. This needs a pullback. Silver needs to come down here. Kiss is beautiful. 21-day moving average, and from here you could either go with a strangle but skew it to the upside, because I think this will have another leg higher. Maybe not today, maybe not tomorrow, maybe not the next week, but in 2026. So that's it for today. Hope you enjoyed the episode. If you did, give it a thumbs up. This is Wealth Down. I'm Norbert Menhart, and we build and protect wealth right here. Catch you tomorrow. And